Good evening, I'm Shane Jones, leading the news at 7. Today, Prime Minister Mia Motley issued several strict guidelines for ministers and permanent secretaries, all in an attempt to ensure greater transparency in the government. Prime Minister Motley has made it clear that ministers are not to meet with anyone, including herself, without other public officials present. She was speaking during a meeting with permanent secretaries and officers of similar grade at the Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Center.
This was the Barbados government that I came into in 1994. This must be the Barbados government to which we return in 2018. The notion that persons can meet politically in an office to discuss the business of Barbados without public officers cannot happen, because we put ourselves at risk of two things. One, allegations of corruption, which is the most obvious and patent. But two, who's going to follow up? If you're in meetings all day and you don't have a public officer with you, who is going to follow up?
Prime Minister Motley says too much money is being spent on a secure technological platform and it should be used. She has therefore cautioned about the manner in which ministers and permanent secretaries are to conduct official government business.
As a result, I've advised the Cabinet, and I'm saying it to all public officers too, no business of the government of Barbados should be conducted on anything other than official platform and official email. We have to move to this platform. If not, the Commissioner of Police, I suspect, will have a very difficult time trying to protect this country's, or to enhance this country's cybersecurity.
Ms. Motley says to ensure greater efficiency, she is hoping that the Cabinet, permanent secretaries, and officers of similar grade will be able to meet every 6 months. A fantastic blend of young and experienced entertainers are among the semi-finalists named for the Sweet Soca and Party Monarch competitions. 16 semi-finalists were announced last evening by the National Cultural Foundation for both competitions. Let's take a look at how they line up. For Sweet Soca, we have Adrian Clark, Biggie Irie, Bobo, Marvey, Imani, Iweb, Jamal Slocum, Kirk Brown, Lead Pipe and Saddis, Lil Rick, The Mighty Griner, Mikey, Natalie, Nikita, Nikwa, and Sanctuary. The reserve is Joaquin. The 16 semifinalists in the Party Monarch competition are Ashania, Be More Specific, Chrissy D, Faith, Cascady, Kirk Brown, Matt Fingal, Marsville, Mikey, Mr. Dill, Mr. Blood and Iweb, Mr. VJ, Nikita, Ray Danger, Sammy Jane, and Stiffy. And the reserve is the Mighty Griner. We spoke to some of the semifinalists, and Faith is upbeat about her chances.
This would be the 5th year in a row that I've made it to the Party Monarch semifinals, so I feel really good about that. A little disappointed that I didn't make it to the Sweet Soca semis this year, because I really wanted to spread that give thanks message, that positive message to the people, because I feel like they need to hear something like that. But I am really, really grateful to be part of the Party Monarch cast, and you don't know that I can bring it 110% this year. We're going to Soca Royale.
First timer Ashania was over the moon.
I want to say thanks so much to everyone who has given me the opportunity to be inside of this competition. This is my first time in the competition, and I am so excited about it. It gives me butterflies, to be honest with you, and I will do whatever it takes to get to the top, and I'm willing to work hard for it.
The very popular Nikita is in both competitions.
Super excited to be in both competitions this year. It's my first time ever for Party Monarch, so I'm really excited for that. Expect energy, good, clean vibes, and you don't know your orange hair songbird is gonna sing. Special shout out to my team, my family, friends, management, and of course, you soca lovers across the world. Love Wanna. Mwah.
After taking a year off, former Monarch Biggie Irie is back with Country.
Country is what people will call a creeper, because when it was first released about a month ago, some people said that they weren't quite feeling it. I'm happy that I made it to the semis once again. Hopefully my performance could take me through to the final.
It's the first time Bobo has entered the competition, and he's made it to the semis.
It's certainly a pleasure to be associated with some of the likes of these talents and the legends that we have on the semi-finalist list. I'm driven this year to compete based on the love and encouragement of my fans, as well as a particularly close and touching conversation I had with Romy a couple of weeks before his passing, and I've made a pledge to his family that this one is for Romy.
The semis are part of Phenomenal Friday on July 6th at Kensington Oval. Coconut vendors are warming up to efforts by the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security to improve standards. The ministry has sought to do so through a series of workshops, with the final one held in Bridgetown. At the end, vendors received certificates and a sanitary starter comprising a hat, a hairnet, aprons, and a water tank. Agricultural Officer Mark Byer says the training is aimed at helping vendors reach a higher level.
There as well, what we've been doing is trying to help in terms of developing them as a business. So we've had fund accessing as well, the small business development. They have come in to help as well. And then we're looking to go from here. We're in discussion with BIDC to provide further training for the vendors to see how we can help them to further develop as business persons, to look at the overall venture as a business. So it has gone very well. The interest is high.
The Barbados Mothers Union can help to secure stronger families and build better communities. This is according to Dean of the St. Michael and All Angels Cathedral, Reverend Dr. Jeffrey Gibson. He says the union, through its presence in many churches, is well positioned to spread God's word throughout the nation.
In the ministry of the Mothers Union, the well-being of the family is paramount. It is important to provide an environment of acceptance, affection, and unconditional love for children, for that allows you to put your faith into action. There are times when the setting is less than ideal, and in those situations, as individuals and branches, you can inspire confidence and hope as you engage women, men, and children on a personal basis and through more intentional action in the communities.
Dean Gibson was speaking during a service to mark the 105th anniversary of the Barbados Mothers Union at St. Michael's Cathedral last evening. During the service, several long-standing members of various branches of the Mothers Union were recognized for their contribution over the years. President of the Barbados Mothers Union, Iris Herwood, spoke about the involvement of the union in several activities. She says their breakfast program has been performing well over the past 11 years, but they are looking for more helpers to assist in the preparation of meals. Ms. Herwood says the parenting program has also been going well, but she made a special appeal for more fathers to get involved.
The involvement of both the male and female make parenting most effective. Still on the topic of parenting, I cannot help but mention the parent-teacher relationship. Parents, I urge you to work with teachers as they look after the welfare of some 30 children per class. Give them the support they need in their duties to equip your children and the knowledge needed to hold their own in this society and the world as a whole.
Okay, we'll take a short break here and come back with more news. Government is moving to have the Best Dos Santos Laboratory accredited. Minister of Health and Wellness, Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic, says they are hoping to have the accreditation within 2 years of the facility's opening. Mr. Bostic's comments came during a workshop dubbed Strengthening the Antimicrobial Resistance Surveillance in the Caribbean at the Hilton Hotel. The health minister said Barbados is aware that microbes know no borders and has had experiences with antimicrobial resistance in 2013. He says the role of the government laboratory is important to the development of a robust antimicrobial resistance system.
To this end, the government of Barbados has supported the continuous training of members of the laboratory staff in all public and private institutions to achieve economies of scale in its operations while enhancing the efficiency and effectiveness of laboratory services in Barbados. The Best Dos Santos laboratory was completed in 2017 to bring together the functions previously carried out by the Public Health Lab here in Barbados, which is the Lady Media Reference Unit, and the Leptospira Lab.
Local recycling company Sustainable Barbados Recycling Center Incorporated is not only assisting in removing the sargassum seaweed from the nation's shores, but it's already making use of it. Head of Sales and Marketing, Susan Ryan Graham, tells CBC News they have developed a compost and other products.
Basically, we are composting the seaweed with green waste clippings plus chicken and horse manure. And you get this lovely texture, which is now soilless, and it helps to improve and amend the soil here in Barbados. And as you know, our soil is scarce in organic matter, so this actually helps go back into the soil and improve the condition in which we grow.
The product was welcomed by patrons attending the Barbados Horticultural Society's Garden Fair at Balls, Christchurch. Ms. Ryan Graham, meanwhile, says Barbadians are keen on embracing recycling.
And they do it at home. They get excited to go home and they do it at home. The issue is the enablers in place. So you do it at home, but then who's going to pick it up for me? You know, there is not there's that disjoint where it has to be moved then from the house in a separate collection facility to come to our facility, SBRC, where we would then further process it, package it and export it. Or in some cases, when the market is depressed, the best option that has been used externally would be to waste to energy.
The Nature Fun Ranch has been hailed as an important natural historic site. These were the words of Minister of the Environment and National Beautification, Trevor Prescott, as he toured the St. Andrew Ranch along with some lucky students. The Nature Fun Ranch is a youth and community group which uses nature, fun, adventure, and learning for holistic development, and has an outdoor adventure program, recreation and adventure park, nature tours, horseback riding, provides youth reform and prevention services, agriculture produce, organic products, farm tours, and a petting park. As a result of his work, founder Corey Lane has received the Commonwealth Points of Light Award from Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, while the United States has selected him to participate in a month-long professional development program. Minister Prescott says a community-oriented project of this magnitude deserves state assistance for its development. He says his ministry will sit with founder Mr. Lane to best decide how to make the ranch become a major attraction.
School children are very enthused about what they have seen, and we want to have a greater national response to what we are featured here, so that we can, it's like an invitation to all the schools across Barbados. Come and see not just the physical structure and the birds and animals and so on, but come and you see a project which is an example of what young people can do in making their own contribution to the general development of Barbados.
After the break, we'll check in with our regional neighbors. In Jamaica, the authorities have sounded the alarm, asking parents and teachers to be on the lookout as students are becoming addicted to a new mixed concoction called lean. Lean is made up of candy, soda, and cough syrup containing codeine. We get more in this report from TVJ.
A powerful concoction that has made its way into the lives of some teenagers in Jamaica.
Over the past several months, the NCD has received reports on lean being used by secondary school students.
It has at least 3 different names: lean, purple drank, or syrup, a combination of candy, soda, and cough syrup containing codeine. Codeine is a prescription pain medication used to treat mild to moderate pain and is also used to suppress a cough. For the mixture, purple drank,
when it is consumed in large doses or from non-prescription purposes, it can create extremely harmful effects. Given that the drug is created as a liquid to drink, users can easily lose track of how much of the active drug they have consumed, since the cough syrup is masked by pleasant or familiar flavors from the soda or candy.
The side effects are devastating.
First-time users may experience dizziness, blurred vision, nausea, and memory problems. Regular use can lead to dental decay, constipation, weight gain, and urinary tract infections. There can also be life-threatening effects when it is used in combination with other drugs.
A quick internet search shows the popularity of purple drank. The drug codeine, found in some cough syrups, has been so addictive it forced some countries to act. In May this year, the BBC reported that Nigeria announced a ban on the production and import of cough syrups containing codeine. In 2016, India also banned multiple brands of cough syrups containing codeine following reports of addiction. Back in Jamaica, Colette Curlew, Director of Client Services in the National Council on Drug Abuse, gave this charge to community members, parents, and children.
For children, consider your future and keep your goals in focus. Remember, #YourFutureComesFirst. For parents, set the example that you want your children to follow. Know their friends and whereabouts, spend quality time with your kids, have meals and play with them. This is our greatest protective factor against drug use, strong family bonding.
In the meantime, authorities are keeping tabs on other emerging trends, such as mixing cigarette or ganja with embalming fluid.
Over in the British Virgin Islands, sections of the territory were shaken by a minor earthquake this morning. The Department of Disaster Management says shortly after 7 a.m. local time, the 3.4 magnitude earthquake occurred 19.8 miles north-northwest of the Capital Road town. The earthquake had a recorded depth of 48 miles and no injuries or damage were reported. In early April, the islands were rocked by a 4.7 magnitude tremor. Well, Sports News is next with Sean Green, but before we get there, here's a tip from Cooperators General Insurance.
This tip of the day is brought to you by Cooperators General Insurance Company Limited. Insurance the way you want it to be.
Reliever inhalers reduce asthma symptoms, whereas preventer inhalers control the swelling and inflammation in the airways. This tip is brought to you in association with the Asthma Association of Barbados.